6 containers of poisonous tomato paste from Iran arrive Nigerian ports. All right, we are going straight to the first one, which is Bishop Cuka blows hot over demonization of Fulani Herdsmen, published on July 17, 2019. Of course, here's the details. The Catholic Bishop of Sokoto, Most Reverend Matthew Cuka, has warned against blanket demonization of Fulani herdsmen, especially of the Fulani stock. He warned that such action could be preamble to a breakout of a violent confrontation against the Fulani. According to Bishop Cuka, his speech often preceded any genocide experience in history. He also spoke on Tuesday at a colloquium on fake news and hate speeches organized by Olusegun Obasanjo Center for African Union and arm of the National Open University of Nigeria, Abuja. He said Nigerians have to be very careful before the situation degenerates beyond control. He likened the uproar and profiling of the Fulani to what happened to the Igbo leading up to the Nigerian Civil War between 1967 and 1970. If it is the Fulani today, yesterday it was the Igbos, he said, reacting to the recent controversy on the issue of picture of a herdsman and on the Nigerian passport booklet. Cuka said he was almost swayed by the fake news before he got a copy of the passport himself. The cleric displayed his passport to illustrate the contents and debunk the insinuation that it carried only a picture of a herdsman. When I look at my passport, it has the coat of arms and the map of Nigeria. Then, right in front of the data page where all my information is, I have the Bini. I am not a Bini man, but I am eminently proud of this. I didn't even know it was there because I had to go through the passport page by page. When I opened the passport, the first thing I saw was Zumarok. Then I see thief dancers who gave them permission to put thief dancers. Then I got to the next page before I came to this poor man who is standing with his cows. Why is it exciting? Is it exciting because this is the time for us to hate, literally tag every Fulani as a herdsman? We are on a very dangerous precipice, he said. Cuka said it was time for those in the position of leadership to tame the situation. Those who lead us should better stand up and tell us where we are going, he said. The Catholic cleric also urged Nigerians to be each other's keeper and avoid ethno-religious profiling in dealing with each other. To further tame the spread of hate, Mr. Cuka called on social media to sift through in choosing who to give audience to, avoid persons who propagate hate speech and mischief. In his opening remark, the Vice Chancellor of Nigerian Open University, Abdallah Adamu, said liberalization of the media space by technology provided opportunity for easy spread of fake news and hate speeches. He lamented the increase in hate speech in the polity, which he said will no longer augur well for the society. What we see are labels over crimes. The moment you start talking about labels, you are breeding hate speech, Adamu said. In her contribution, former journalist and politician Chris Anyanwu also bemoaned too much of this hate and vile stuff, warning that it could consume the country if not properly tackled. We have to be careful not to use our own hands to set our own house on fire, and so one will sit there in Russia laughing, she said. Ms. Anyanwu, a former senator, said the media has a big role to play in reversing the trend, but lamented poor quality of journalism currently in the country. She said the rise of brown envelope in journalism has bred poor attitude to work. Thus, some reporters rely on press releases churned out by newsmakers. All right, this is the headline the first headline we have to treat and analyze. All right, Mazi Oge Friday, I'm coming to you now. From the statement made by this very cleric Bishop Cuka, of course, he's a known figure in the North. Everybody knows him, and he's vocal in his approaches. But coming out to make this very defensive statement on the headmen, what would you make of it from your own personal perspective?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say that I am personally not happy with this Bishop Cuka. Before now, we know him to be the mouthpiece of the people. In every issue happening in this contraption called Nigeria, he always come out to make his stand known, which particularly center on protecting the interests of the people he is representing. Nevertheless, I will say I am not personally happy for likening what the Fulani Herdsmen are doing to that of the civil war that cost the lives of many of our people. So nobody should in any way compare the activities of the Fulani Herdsmen to what happened in 1967 to 1970. Our people sought for what? Dependence, for self-determination. We were not terrorist organization, and we are not terrorists now, and we will never be terrorists. We are the indigenous people seeking the freedom, the self-determination of our people. The Fulani Herdsmen, they are totally herdsmen. They are also, terrorists. So it's not going to be making sense for anybody, irrespective of who you are, to liken the activities of these terrors to the Biafran people. Meanwhile, his statements, I've listened to it, and all of those things talking about hate speech. Which of these things now is hate speech? Is it that the people came out to say the truth on what is happening, and on the other side, nobody knew? Either he was saying this just to make money or what? But from my best of knowledge, he was saying all these things just because there's something that the people want to hear. He just wants to say what the people in power want to hear. And only him know what he's trying to avert. But for him to say that all of these things is hate speech, the evidence are there. The Fulani Herdsmen having their symbolism in the new national identity. Is it part of the national program? The answer is no.
What he's insinuating is that people should not demonize the Fulani Herdsmen in this very context, because he is trying to make everybody understand that they are also equal citizens. Just like the Benin man he cited as making his appearance in that very passport, that the Fulani Herdsmen also ought to be accepted as the same thing. Whereas this Fulani Herdsmen are number 4 recognized terrorist organization in the world. So
I really understand it, as that is exactly the point I'm driving to. Do you understand? Bringing these people, their symbolism attached to the new national identity card, and everybody have seen that these people are deadly terrorists who have killed so many people, and they are still killing, and they are not having any mindset of giving up on that. And somebody boldly, somebody who is occupying the position he's occupying, a bishop who is, having thousands of people under him, came out publicly to say that people should not demonize it. Totally what they are doing is evil, because you don't have the right to take the lives of other people. And if you go about taking the lives of other people, you are totally committing evil. And the Fulani Herdsmen, the terrorists, they are committing evil. So people should call a spade a spade. And him as a clergy, a bishop, coming out to say it the other way, whichever way he wants to put it, it's not acceptable at all. Fulani Herdsmen, they should be kept to where they belong to.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Oge Friday. I will come back to you shortly. Of course, let me go over to Mazevi Sounde. Mazevi Sounde, can you hear me?
I can hear you, my brother.
All right, please, from this very first headline that we are treating, what will be your reaction before we go into other details? Bishop Matthew Cuka is coming out openly to defend the Fulani, trying to advise the people of Nigeria and other people to accept them as one, also likening them to what the Biafrans had to go through between the 19th, that is the program that happened during the the genocide called Civil War. So, as in, how can you compare and contrast this? Does it in any way have the same semblance to what the Biafrans had to go through? Is it the same thing from your own perspective?
My brother, as we all know, though we are on a kind of analyzer sector, anything concerning kind of demons or Illuminati that tag themselves as bishop or whatever, that sometimes or at some point come up to speak a word or to say something, I don't value them. I don't discuss them because they will not add any value to the struggle or whatever. Rather, it's just an eye-opener to those of them that listens.
The point here is not about I understand the way you feel, but the point we are trying to get out here is because it concerns us in one way or the other, because this is the lie they keep selling to their gullible followers. That is why it is very important for us to analyze it and make sure we establish the truth for them to see. Because the reason why I say the concerns us is because it's likening what is happening now between the Fulani and the people who are reacting to their appearance on their zoo international passport with what happened to the Biafrans. He said that yesterday was the Igbos and today is the Fulani. So as I want to understand the relationship between the Igbos and the Fulani in this very context, he said that it is the hate speech that brought about the massacre of the millions of Biafrans that was massacred between the 1966 to 1970s. So now the same thing is about to happen. So I just want to get the points. That is the reason why we have to analyze it so that I will understand. Because if we don't analyze it for them to see the reason why we called Nigeria a zoo, then they will not probably understand and they will go home with the lie that is being churned out with from their brand envelope media. So that is why it is very important for us to dissect it and expose all the hidden lies in it.
My brother, from my own perspective, just to buttress a little the point to what you've just said, I will capitalize on the hate speech and not much about Cuka. And that very Cuka, go and Google his name. He's a Fulani man. He's a Fulani man. So we don't expect him to come up right now, even though he converted from Muslims to Christians and becomes a bishop or whatever thing they mentions. You don't expect them to come out to kind of speak against their people. So for the hate speech matter, I just want to remind most of the gullible people that don't even want to see the truth out of the blue, that the first hate speech was made in the contraction called the zoo, and everybody overlooked it by our forefathers, was made on October 12, 1960. That is 12 days after the independence, and it was made point blank or clean clear by the Usman Danfodio. If you listen to that, you will hear he said that Igbos has the monopoly of dominating, and they won't allow that he want to Northernize and Islamize the country. What is the word is that rather than his speech? And is it El Rufai said something during election that those of them that will come to monitor the election will go back with a body bag. Is that not his speech? And Buhari, when he was alive, said that the unity of the contraction called the zoo is unnegotiable. Is that not hate speech? So when you look at those of them that comes up to make some kind of words so that they will be recognized, my brother, you look at them as fools. It's just that most of our brothers, most of our those of them that are brothers that reside in those places, and those of them that work with them in the government parastatals and the parliament, refuses to know the truth, and they refuse to see for the angle in which we are seeing. Why? Because they are beneficiaries of the killings, and as long as money flows, because the Hausa says, if you want to know how powerful or how sincere the Igbo man is, just dangle some 10 naira in his front. You will see him change his speeches, just like when somebody like a liar, latest lying pastor Osibanjo comes into a church in some of the churches in Biafra land uninvited, and the pastor noticed that the pastor is around in the church. He will change his message that very day to suit the vice president, and not to suit the God that call him into the office of being a pastor or a cross bearer. So why am I saying this right now? Everybody has learned on how to protect his own people. That is what we are kind of lecturing our people to learn on how to protect and how to cover our people, irrespective of what the person has said in the mixed multitude. Just come home and they kind of protect that very person, to make sure that when you come home, you can put your house in order. So you don't expect a Fulani man to start telling you that Fulani did wrong and this what you don't expect them. So he has made his point. It's left for us to do our own kind of strategical plan to fix our house in order. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Mazi Evisan, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, Mazi Oge, you heard the position of our brother Mazi Evisan. From your own perspective, do you think it is a wise thing for somebody like that, a well recognized and respected clergy, man of God, in that part of this geographical space called Sokoto, to take sides publicly with the Fulani non-jihadist terrorist group?
We have said it before, that it's not a welcome development for somebody like him, a bishop who have thousands of people that are under him, to come out publicly to make such statement because of the fact that he want to please some people. He want to say what some people will hear. It is not what will go down well with the last man in the street or even those that he is representing. So on all of those things happening, we blame it on the media, the brown envelope media of this contraption called Nigeria. I so much appreciate the other man that spoke still on that event. We all know that all of this is happening. It is because the media do not have what it takes to explain things to the understanding of the masses. Because in a place where things works well, where the media are doing their work, just as we are doing now, in a sentence you make as a notable person in the society, the media will analyze it. They will have to tell the people the positive and the negative side of it. But here, they like to quote people verbatim, not minding if the citizens understand it or not. The effect of the statement on what is happening in the country, they don't care. All they care is their money. But on the other hand, this man, he is not a child, and he knows very well what is happening in this contraption called Nigeria. His church, if I'm not mistaken, had in one way or the other been attacked by these terrorists, either Fulani Herdsmen or Boko Haram because the two are working to achieve the same go, but in different packages. So for him to come out and give this total support to what they are doing, it means he has a skeleton in his cupboard, and he should be questioned by the people in the hierarchy of his church. He should be brought to a table to make some explanations, because this is just to show that he is having communion with this deadly terrorist organization, Fulani Herdsmen. If he is not, then he should make it more better to the understanding of the people and the people he is representing, because this is not a welcome development at all. Even if it is a child, you don't need to make such statement. But you, who is, a bishop of a Catholic church, and many people are under you, so what do you think that people should? This is exactly why we say that we have lost the reputation and the regard for these so-called men of God we have here in this contraption. So these are the things that makes people to lose interest, because when people who are supposed to stand for you, when people who are supposed to represent your interest, when people who are supposed to put themselves in your shoes and know what you are going through and represent you adequately, turn around to backbite you, it is not a welcome development at all, and it is something that one should be very much disturbed about. Where then do the help of the people come from? You don't have the back of the politicians. You don't have the backup of the religious leaders. You don't also have the backup of the traditional leaders. It totally means that you are on your own. The remedy becomes the indigenous people to do what? To gather and find solution to their problem, because these people, they do not have any solution to their problems, because there are men that are being moved by what they see. They are more or less after their belly. The offering that the people will give, the envelope that will be given to them, maybe in the end of the whole thing. And like my brother Maisi said, if they see a notable politician in their midst, instead of going straight to the point to preach exactly what will bring salvation of house, will save people and save the land, they will change the topic, twist it, preach that which will suit the VIP in their midst. And that was exactly what Cuka has done, not remembering whom he is and what he represents. So totally, for me, it's not acceptable. He should do something about it.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Mazi Ogefride, for that wonderful analysis. Of course, I keep saying it over and over again that one single lie can destroy who you are. It can defame your reputation. It can destroy all the good reputation you have built so far. And for Bishop Matthew Cuka to liken the Fulani Boko Haram terrorists to what Biafrans have gone through or had to go through, it is very, very an understatement and unacceptable by the Biafrans. Biafrans totally frown at this very statement made by Bishop Matthew Cuka. He's a well-respected man over there in Sokoto, but this very statement of likening evil or supporting evil is totally unacceptable, and I believe that he would have learned his lesson after the Boko Haram or the Fulani must have attacked him or his own place of making money. All right, we'll move over to the second headline, which goes like this: Herdsmen settlement. Yakasi warns Fulani not to leave the south. That is a statement that is coming just yesterday. Now, here's the details. Alhaji Tanko Yakasi, elder statesman Tanko Yakasi, on Wednesday rejected the calls on the Fulanis to relocate from the south. Professor Ango Abdullahi led Northern Elders Forum and a coalition of Northern group had on Tuesday ordered the Fulani herders to immediately vacate the southern part of the country amidst growing security concerns. Yakasi, in a statement made available on Daily Independent in Kano, noted that leadership of the northern group should be aware that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has bestowed right to every Nigerian citizens to live in any part of the country he or she wishes to reside. Yakasi stated that no authority, group of people or individual, no matter how highly placed, can deny any Nigerian to exercise this inalienable right. This inalienable right. All right, Mazi Oge Friday. You know, this is another new development.
Yes.
Tanko Yakasi is a man everybody knows so much. You know, coming out now to the Professor Angu Abdullahi led a coalition of a northern group that we talked about here the last time.
Yes.
They made a very strong statement warning their people over here, the Fulani herdsmen, to withdraw immediately and repatriate back to the north. And here is Tanko Yakasi quoting the Constitution of the Federal Republic of the Zoo called Nigeria, that every citizen have any rights to live anywhere they wishes to. But when you come to the literal aspect of it, does it really, I mean, is this something visible? You know, this part of Constitution that he quoted, I mean, what is your own reaction? What would be your own
anyway, I would like to have this, made known to our people. The Fulani herdsmen, they are not going out as the northern elders suggested that they should vacate the south. Instead, they want to go back and re-strategize. And from what this man said now, it's a clear indication that this contraption called Nigeria is controlled by cabals. And who knows if Tanko said was in line with the cabals. Remember that they are using the north generally as a camouflage to achieve their goal. Talking about this Fulani, the invaders. Many northerners, especially the hardcore Hausa men, do not really understand the handwriting on the wall. It is the indigenous people of Biafra, Radio Biafra and Biafran television, and our leader Mazinam Dekano and all the persons working assiduously in this agitation are those who are opening their eyes to know that the invaders are working hard to make sure that they take them out. So, for this reason, I don't see that the Fulani herdsmen are living here. Right. Because they have not achieved their aim. They have not achieved their goal. And for this man to come up and tell you this is just a clear indication that the statement made by the northern leaders or the northern elders may not even be in accordance with the cabals. You know, Abakiyari has not...
I will come back to you shortly, okay. Mazi Egefide. Thank you for that wonderful contribution. Of course, let me go over to Mazi Elvis. Mazi Elvis, all the way, you've had the statement I read so far, and this is a very too strong group of people making different statements. And what would you make of it? Which one is likely telling the truth of the reality on ground? We have in one hand Tanko Abdullahi, a professor that is well known in the north, with his coalition group making a statement that all the herdsmen should immediately repatriate and come back to the north because of some security challenges. And here we have Tanko Yakasi. Of course, you know him very well. He's an influential man over there, making another bold statement that the herdsmen should stay put, that nothing is happening, and also the backing it up with their Nigerian Zoo Federal Republic Constitution. So from your own perspective, what would you make of it? What would be your reaction to this?
For the abundance of doubt, nobody should be deceived, and nobody should be over-rejoiced or over-emphasized, or a kind of belittle the trending issues that is on ground right now concerning the Fulanese. There is one thing I want our people to understand. And that very thing is, an awesome man, when he has a plan, he don't exhibit or execute or implement the plans immediately. They always test on the capability and accessibilities of the outcome of their plans, if actually it will work or not. And those are the things that will make those things not to work. They will soft pedal and have some break that looks like as if maybe they're suspended, not cancelled. And you see them coming up with kind of decisive and deceitful matters, a kind of words. This very one will come to say one thing, another one will come up to say one thing, just to deceive most of the people that don't believe in the things we are doing. And they will now tell you, yes, they said that they should, but they told them all of them should come back. And now, can't you see, we are one Nigeria. The Tanko, Yakasi, or whatever thing they call, he has said that they should not go. My brother, stop deceiving yourself, which means the person failed to understand the smartness, the intelligence, the roadmap and the plans of the Fulani. They always come up with, let me just tell you one thing, they listen to radio and television Biafrans. Because via the statement we made day before yesterday and yesterday, that was the reason that Fulani man, Tanko or something, Yaka, whatever thing you call him or whatever, he's a Fulani man, come up right now because we have been able to debunk their evil plans. And what they're now trying to do is to re-strategize their plan, not actually that they meant a kind of let us go. Because he has thought it that if they really vacate the land and return back to the Hausa land or the northern land, where will they reside? And again, that we will say yes, that we have won the battle, because they are scared, they are afraid that they are afraid of us. Whereas they have the gun, they have the power, they have the government. My friend, stay there. Nothing will happen. Let us give you another plan on how to carry on, because we have not finished yet. That very land belongs to you, because I can remember vividly, I think last week, one of them came up on the social media. I think there should be channel television to say that all the land in the zoo belongs to Fulanis. So people should take cognizance of that. And again, we should not be a kind of trying to say that they said they should go. And I don't know, so this person come and said that they should not go. Let me just tell you, we don't have to be deceived. We have been deceived a lot. These people, they have a plan. And that very plan, there is nothing on earth that will make them to go back. The only thing is to be vigilant, stand gallant, and be alert, because something is cooking. And when that thing, when the thing they are cooking is done, we will not be a kind of outrun by their plans. What we are saying is that don't listen to what they are saying. Whether they go or they don't go, protect yourself. Simple. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Mazi Elvis, all the way for that wonderful contribution. Of course, you know that when that very first statement, the first group, when they made the statements, the Professor Ango Abdullahi group, you know, from the reaction we've gotten from our people so far, they seem to have a little sigh of relief that at last the Fulani herdsmen are going to leave our land, and they can at least sleep with two eyes closed. But the situation seems to have changed immediately this man made this very statement. Now, are you trying to say that our people are going to live in that horror all over again? Mazi Elvis.
What I actually meant is that people should sleep with one of the eyes open. You don't go and sleep like someone that don't have a plans. The Hausas, I mean the Fulanis, that also the Fulanis has a danger plan against our people, all these things they are saying and the things they are doing right now is to confuse you. Do not be confused. Do not be confused, because their plan, they have it in mind that they must implement that very plan. That is why in every parastatus, if you are listening to House of Speaker, there is one of them that came up yesterday after their, or is it sections or whatever thing they done yesterday. He said that they deleted the Biafran agitations, but now the very Biafran has become a disgrace, has become the Nigerian disgrace, has become the problem, has become, it is on the video. So you go and listen to us. So they don't go home to sleep. They work tirelessly, just like as our leader is working tirelessly to make sure that our land is restored. And that is why also all of them gather together and making strategizing a kind of technicalize their plans and reschedule all their movement to make sure that the Northerners are not, the Fulanis are not defeated or not taken other ways. So they have their plans, and they want to execute and exhibit their plans in our land. And that is what we don't want to tolerate, and that is, we have tolerated it enough. So I'm talking to our people, so don't just be deceived. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Mazi Sanwo-Olu, for that wonderful analysis. Of course, Mazi Oge Friday, I'll come to you again. You know, the second to the last paragraph, he was quoted verbatim. He made a very bold statement that the constitution of the zoo called Nigeria gave every man and woman that right, that equal right to reside wherever he or she wishes to reside. But now, coming to the literal aspect of it, there are people, I mean, from the same group again, gave the Biafrans living in the north quick notice some time ago last year, and also this year again. They have just given the time they gave, the time frame has not yet expired, and a lot of our people are running helter-skelter. So why is it that this very man could not come out to make this very quote of the constitution to the people that make this very threat, and now he's now coming to use it in order to protect the Fulani? What would you see that is going on here, Mazi Oge Friday?
Anyway, these people, they already know what they were out for, even before now. And that's why you see, even in the contraption constitution, even in Nigeria constitution, Islam, Muslim, and everything that will work for the interests of the Fulani were all centered on there, because it was their forefathers that gathered together and make the statement of house, make the constitution the way it will benefit their people. And on the other hand, no other religion in this contraption was mentioned there, but Islam and whatever thing that will be for the interests of the North were there mentioned. We have our indigenous land. There is no doubt about it. So you cannot just come from nowhere and invade my inheritance because of what you call constitution that has been made, which you don't even obey. It is when it comes to the point that it will benefit you, you try to see how you channel it to work for your own favor. But still on the constitution, we have the ownership right. So where I live, my inheritance, you cannot come from nowhere and drive me out of the land. And there are people that rented shops there, bought land there, built there, they have the seal of ownership, and they still have the boldness to give them quick notice. And they're trying to tell us that they don't have the right to live wherever they want to live. Our people that they used Boko Haram to destroy their lives and property, and these Fulani Herdsmen terrorists, have they compensated them? Have they paid them royalty? The answer is no. They come down to our land here, they invade our land, they invade our inheritance, they destroy our lives and property, and nothing is being done about it. But this time around, because of the mayhem that the Fulani Herdsmen are causing, the terror they are unleashing on people, the indigenous people are saying, no, we don't accept it any longer. Naturally, our people are friendly. They are very, very peaceful people to live with. But when we gave them the opportunity, we gave them the room to stay, they turn around to do what? to molest and harm our people. And when we begin to cry out that we can't continue this again, they have to turn it around, that the evil contraption constitution that was made to their own favor supported it. In the other hand, they will say that all land belongs to the government. And who are the government? As long as Nigeria is concerned, it is the Hausa Fulanis, the terrorists. So, and that is why they are very bold to use some of these ways, forgetting that they are not even the people, they are the people who are contradicting the constitution. When the constitution also gives you, tells you that you shouldn't detain people for so and so time. And when it comes to the matter that will benefit you, you are sounding like a saint, like somebody that respects and obey constitution. You don't obey constitution. How many years did they detain our leader, Mazinam Dekano, for doing nothing? Then Elza Zaki, that has been in detention all this while, you have not done anything to let him go. But the court have said, release him. You have the obligation to do what? To obey the constitution on that side. But you will sweep all those things under the carpet. But when it comes to the matter that will benefit your people, to satisfy your selfish desires, you have to remember constitution. So it's not even something that we need to talk about. We have our indigenous land, and they cannot come from nowhere. These people, for crying out loud, they are invaders. They are invaders. And the bitter, the only we all gather together, join hands together and drive these people away. Send them to where they belong. The better for all of us. So we cannot keep quiet because of what they are, saying to deceive our people and prostrate to their own method. It's not going to work that way.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Mazi Oge Friday, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, Biafrans and all of us of freedom, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyido, and of course I have Mazi Oge Friday with me here in the studio, and also our brother Mazi Elvis Onwudiwe is also here with us, joining us from Imo, and he's doing a wonderful job of analyzing. Of course, you can do good to share this very program to all nooks and crannies of the very earths. Make sure you share it on all the social media handle that you have, and make sure that all our people are well informed. Make sure you call your people, those of you in diaspora, call your people back home and make sure they are listening at the time. Those of them who doesn't have any access to the internet or television, they can do good to watch through the they can do good to listen to Radio Biafra London, which is our premier platform where we are broadcasting and transmitting concomitantly. Of course, I'm going over to the next headline, which is Buhari orders the herdsmen to disregard Northern Elders Quit Notice Order, 17th July 2019. Now, here's the details. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged all Northern Nigerians to ignore the recent call by the Northern Elders asking them to leave the southern part of the country. He therefore called on all Nigerians to keep the peace in the country. The NEF and the coalition of the Northern Group CNGS has on Tuesday asked the Fulani herdsmen to leave the southern part of the country. They said the herdsmen should return to the north, where their herdsmen safety and that of their property could be guaranteed.
Yes, there is something our people need to know, that whichever way this is said, all that we need is that our indigenous land should be freed. Our people wanted to see if they can coexist peacefully with these people, not knowing that they have come to kill them and take away their land. So on that note, what every indigenous person should do is to wake up do the needful. And what is the needful? To join hands together with the indigenous people of Biafra and make sure that these people were sent to where they belong. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. All of those things is just a means to get their plans achieved. And the end result of their doggedness will put everybody to doom. And that is not going to be easy for our people should we allow that to happen. So now we have the time and opportunity to resist these invaders.
All right, thank you very much, Mazoge. The first and lovers of freedom, we are sorry for that technical difficulties, and for those of you who couldn't hear my voice, I want to repeat the article all over again. President Muhammadu Buhari has urged all Nigerians to ignore the recent call by the Northern Elders Forum, NEF, to Fulani herders, asking them to leave the southern part of the country. He therefore called on all the Nigerians to keep peace in the country. The Northern Elders Forum and the coalition of Northern Group had on Tuesday asked the Fulani herdsmen to leave the southern part of the country. They said the herdsmen should return to the north, where their herdsmen's safety and that of their property could be guaranteed. But in a statement, the president, through his senior special assistants, media and publicity, Garba Shehu, said all citizens of Nigeria are free to move and live within any part of the country they pleases, whether or not they are originally from there. In line with our country's constitution, the government of Nigeria and the administration of the President Muhammad Buhari will protect citizens of Nigeria wherever they find themselves. No one has the right to ask anyone or group to depart from any part of the country, whether north, south, east, or west. The president questioned the intentions of the NEF, that is the Northern Era Forum, and other so-called leaders in delving into issues with unsolicited, ill-intentioned advice. They have no one's authority to make such pronouncements. The polarizing role of the Northern Elders Forum and all those other groups dabbling into issues of security to score cheap political points has for long been a sore point in Nigerians' body and polity. They should not be allowed to mislead anyone, least of all the Fulani herdsmen. The Buhari administration is fully devoted to finding a lasting solution to the herdsmen farmers clashes in different parts of Nigeria, one that would have acceptable to all the parties involved. All right, Mazi Oge, you know, this very statement is a kind of you know, is very, very controversial. Yes. If I would choose to put it that way. You know, it is insinuating that the Northern Elders Forum are not in, are not in tandem with what the Kabas want. So does it seem that the Northern families, or how do I put it, are divided among themselves? You see, what would you say?
I've tried to, you know, say this before. What the Northern Elders Forum said was not even in accordance with what the presidency is, you know, thinking. And remember, Mieti, Allah, they have not said anything, and Abba Kyari haven't said anything, and now you see Buhari, or perhaps you hearing Jibril Aminu Al-Sudani, who is in Asurok, coming to say that he's not even in support of what the Northern Elders Forum, led by Professor Ango, said. So this is just to tell you that even the Northerners, like I tried to say before, that the Northerners, the hardcore Hausa men, they are not even totally in support of what the Fulani herdsmen are doing. These people, they came.
How can we be sure of that?
Yes, these people, they came. Do you understand? These Fulani herdsmen, they are invaders. They came with an objective. And there are people that have tried to do what? To rule, to be on their side, to make sure that they achieve their aim. These people, they are willing tools. They were smart. They outsmarted everybody. They came in a way that we are peaceful people, we just want to stay. And you see, these people, they conquered and take over. That was why in all the northern states today, and some states in Yoruba, is being ruled by these Fulani monarchs. Because their people, they do not know what exactly was happening. They conquer and take over. And before they realize it was very late for them. Because they have the money and they have the power. If you have the money and the resources and also the gun, power belongs to you. There is nothing you can do again. They have no choice.
All right.
So whatever thing that they are saying now, hearing them from, which is not from mainly the Fulanis, from the Kabas, it's just it bounds to fail. So what the northern elders were saying, they think that is the best thing to do, because they are seeing the problem everywhere, and they see that the only thing or the only solution to this, problem is let the Fulani herdsmen in the south return to the north. Having noticed that there are so many land, there are many spaces that they can occupy, like we tried to bring to the notice of our people before now. One state in the north is larger than all the 5 Igbo-speaking states put together. And they have the free space.
I will come back to you.
So these people, they feel that the best thing to do is for them to come back.
Please,
well, they say that coming. Okay.
All right, Mazi Evison, please, I want you to come in here, because this very topic is a very controversial topic. First of all, I would like you to react to it then before we go towards the details. Coming from a different perspective, and Tanko Yakasi and President Muhammad Buhari, or Jubril Asudani, who is standing in for them, they seem to be having the same, speaking from the same voice. And whereas the Tanko Abdullahi, Professor Tanko Abdullahi led the coalition of the Northern Group, that is NEF, are saying something different. So does it seem, from this very perspective, or in this very context, does it seem that the North are divided among themselves, or are they trying to deceive the people from seeing the reality that is on ground? So, as in, what would you say in this very issue?
I don't have much things to say concerning that, because it is only the idiots. Even the idiot sometimes has some reasoning for himself. I just want to say something concerning the trending that is happening between because if you are calling Buhari, it seems like as if maybe that the man still exists. The man doesn't exist, because if the man do exist, the wife would have not come to clamor to immortalize her husband's name with one of the universities. So the person that is in charge in the terms of affair of the zoo is Abakiale. And when you look at the order now, those of the Northern Elders Forum, or whatever thing they call themselves, they at some point come up to issue some account to maintain law and peace. But it seems like as if maybe the Abakiales and the Kabas don't like it, because their aims cannot be actualized. Their aims of terrorism cannot be actualized, because by so doing, the only thing an average Fulani man will not tolerate from you is defeat. It's accept that you reasons why you are seeing these controversial statements from the Jibril and from the Northern Forum. So, but in other words, don't just joke with them. Don't say that maybe they are divided. Don't just say that maybe the statement is trying to my brother. Don't joke with these people. I've been in their midst for years. I know how they do operate. When it comes to the things of politics, they unite themselves together to attack their common enemy. They are not there to battle words by themselves. They can come out there to say whatever, but at the back door or inside the closed door meeting, watch them uniting themselves and they carrying out their assignment of terrorism. So whatever thing they are saying right now is just to deceive the international communities, because you remember that a few days ago that the Fulani is sent to United Nations to defend them, that they came back with shame. They could not defend the zoo. And a lot of societies, international societies are coming up right now to question the ruling parties and their activities in the country concerning human rights, concerning the terrorism, and all whatnot, everything that is happening in that very place. So when you see them right now coming up with some certain, devastative and decisive statements, it's just to play a smart one to the international community, because as of yesterday, what I got from the United Nations panel of analysis, they are now coming up to decide whether to sanction the zoo or not. So if you see them coming up with the elders say this and the president say this, it's just to deceive the gullible ones. But we are Biafrans, we are more smarter, and we are more patient, we are more intelligent than them. So thank you.
Alright, thank you very much, Mazi. Every sound the way I'll come to you shortly. Of course, the first time Lovers of Freedom, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyido. Of course, we are looking at some very important and controversial issue of what is going on in the zoo right now. Of course, Mazi, okay, Friday, you see, the person, or as you would put it, the Jibril of Sudan, who is speaking on behalf of the president, the dead president of Nigeria, Abuli, led by himself, Abakiare himself. He said that they have no jurisdiction or authority to make such a pronouncement, and also he said that they don't have the right to ask anyone to leave any part of the country. So now, from your own understanding, do you think that the Northern Elders Forum, led by Professor Ango Abdullahi, is not in any way working in line with the cabal that is led by Abakiare?
You see, there is an Igbo adage that will say, no Kenyadian on Olo. It is a taboo that an elder will be at home and a goat will die tied on a rope. What these people were trying to do is to play the role of the elders, the Northern Elders Forum, remember. And what they were trying to do was exactly what they're supposed to do as the elders. They think that this is what to do. Since everybody in all parts of the contraption called Nigeria has been crying bitterly, they see that the only thing that we can do now is to call back our people who are in the south, so that peace will do what? Will reign. But on the other hand, the people who have the master script said no, that what you are saying is not original. This is what we really want. And this your statement wants to frustrate the effort. So we don't accept it. And remember, Anabo Agwan Tintanero, Ebufisi, Yanante, Esuropo. The elders will just say what they have to say as the elders. It is the man who is in charge that will take the final decision. And again, the statement, like our brother Mazi Elvis has been pointing out, is geared towards deceiving people, some gullible mind, into believing that all is well. But one thing I like so much is, after all these things, something will happen to bring out, or perhaps to unfold, what they really mean. So the statement made by the presidency, it goes a long way to tell you that they are not ready to adhere to what the Northern Elders Forum said, and their advice, they are not going to adhere to it, because it will truncate whatever plan they have. How are they going to achieve their long-term plan? They have invested much in this. They have come a long way. They have planted so many people in different strategical points of the government, all to make sure that they achieve this single goal. What is that single goal? To Islamize the entire zoo called Nigeria. And they are not going to do that by peaceful means, but by force. And the people they will use are the Fulani Herdsmen, terrorists, and the Boko Haram terrorists. So they were using Boko Haram before, and they see that Boko Haram, there is a point to which they can go. There is a limit to which they can go. So they have to use the Fulani Herdsmen terrorists, who can use the cow as a disguise to go to any part of this contraption called Nigeria. They equipped them with guns and bullets to go to anywhere they want to go to, because they can use their cow as an example, or perhaps as an excuse. We want to come and feed our cow, that's all. And when they come to settle, after some 2-3 times years, they will have to do what? To bring out the package they have. And that is exactly what they are doing. They came to our land in a disguise to feed their cows, in a disguise to cater for their livestock. But now they are beginning to bring out their master plan. And that is exactly what it means. Unfortunately, these hardcore Hausa people, the truth must be told, they do not really understand the clear-cut view of what these people meant in the first place. Many of them were used because they see that they are the nearest people, they are the nearest neighbor they can use to achieve their evil plan. And that was why they try to, if they have maybe 70% of the higher appointment of the government, they give them the rest 20, and they shift the other 10 to maybe to the Yorubas, whom they can also use.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Oge Friday. Let us look at this. Let's quickly look at this very next headline here. It goes like this: suspected herdsmen hijack 18-seater bus, kill naval warrant officer, kidnap 17 others in Edo State. Now here's the details. A naval warrant officer, Felix Aknabi, has been shot dead by suspected Fulani herdsmen, who allegedly kidnapped 18 passengers traveling from Akwa Ibom State to Lagos en route Edo State on Tuesday. Report says the men of Edo State Police Command has swung into action on receiving the information and rescued the 17 other passengers. It was gathered that the 4 herdsmen, all armed with sophisticated weapons, opened fire on the 18-seater bus along the highway. Sources said the gunmen finally intercepted the 18-seater bus between the Kiadolo and the Ovia River Bridge in Ovia Northeast local government area and carried away with passengers' valuables. The kidnappers selected 8 of the passengers and marched them into the bush, leaving the other 10 behind, possibly to tell the story. As the kidnappers were taking the victims to their camp in Ovia Forest, Warrant Officer Felix Atnabi, who could not walk as fast as others, was shot and killed by the herdsmen. It was learnt that on receiving the information, the divisional police officer in charge of the Ekiadolo police division mobilized his men after the kidnappers in a bid to rescue the victims. After combing the bush for over 2 hours, the police rescued the 7 victims alive and recovered the body of Aknabi. Confirming a report, the Edo State Police Public Relations Officer Chidi Wabuzo, DSP, said the police were combing the bush in search of the kidnappers, adding that Warrant Officer Aknabi was very close to his retirement before his untimely death. He promised that the police would do everything possible to fish out the kidnappers. Now, Friday, going through this very statement, this very incident happened in Edo State, which partly is the Biafran land and the other parts belonging to the zoo. So now, when you look at this is the menace that is happening every day in Biafran land, and a lot of people are being killed, a lot of people are being kidnapped. In this very context, what would you make of it? Because we heard the story of, the Fasorati daughter that was killed, and the Yoruba people decided to label the Biafrans as the perpetrators of that crime. Now that the police have finally confirmed that herdsmen did this one, now what would you make of it?
You see, this statement of the police, attributing the attack to the police, it has been like that. But at a point, they also change the statement. You remember that of Fasoranti's daughter, who is still very fresh in the mind of everybody. The police initially acknowledged the fact that it was the Fulani herdsmen terrorists that unleashed that mayhem and killed that lady. But when they noticed that this thing has become political, when Tinubu and co intervened, seeing that this thing will ruin his 2023 presidential ambition, he decided to channel it to the other way around, that it was the Igbos that used that route. Now denying that it was not the Fulani herdsmen. That was the following day, the commissioner of police had to go and tell the TVC news that it was not Fulani herdsmen. But you remember, these people they were in the bush. Who else live in the bush in this contraption if not the Boko and the Fulani herdsmen? So now, as this one happened, this is not going to be the end of their attack. They are out for this business. They are out for this, for sure. But the problem is that the people who supposed to protect the lives and property of the entire helpless poor masses, they are not doing that, because they are connived with the enemies, with these greedy, evil politicians who have nothing in their mind but to satisfy their selfish interest. They work against the people. If they see the truth, they will not say it. All of these things is what they know. But because the presidency is behind or in support of the Fulani herdsmen, everybody, they are using the governors. Because if you didn't play the script they give you to play, they will not give you the next appointment, just as they all dance to their tune to make sure that they return to their position as the governors, and to some who return to the house, to the state house and the what have you. They all signed and pledged allegiance to promote the interests of the Fulani herdsmen. And that was why in all these things happening, if the police want to say, let us do our work as policemen, by the time they go to the field, they will find out that their boss himself is dancing to the tune of this terror.
All right.
And then they will have nothing to do again. If you are being threatened of sack, what else are you going to do? If you check around, how am I going to feed my family? How am I going to take care of myself? How am I going to pay my bills? You have nothing as an option than to do what the cabals want you to do. So this one, even though they have accepted that it was the Fulani herdsmen that did this, which everybody know, who else can do it? It was the Fulani herdsmen that always do things like that. What are they going to do? Even if they see them, they are not going to arrest them. They have been seeing Fulani herdsmen everywhere. They cannot arrest any of them. They carry their weapons and arms, going about every day and night. People see them. They turn around to unleash mayhem and kill people, destroy lives and property. Nothing will be done about it. And everybody is comfortable with it because the presidency and every other persons are behind them. It's very, very unfortunate.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Mazi Oge Friday, for that wonderful analysis. Of course, I'll come back to you shortly. Let me go over to Mazi Evi Somundiwe. Mazi Evi Somundiwe, can you hear me? Hello, Mazi Evi Somundiwe. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, please, I want to get your own reaction based on this very incident that just happened lately in between Biafra land and the zoo. What would you make of it? And also, this man that was killed, Aknabi, I think he is from Biafra land, you know, from Cross River area of Biafra land. What would you make of it? Is it necessary? Somebody that is almost at the age of retirement, and this Fulani herdsmen have to cut his life short, and at the end of the day, the other kidnapped victims were rescued by the zoo police, and and they have to confirm that it was the Fulani herdsmen that are behind all of this. So, what is your reaction to this very information?
My reaction towards the information is that we all have seen it right now that traveling through commuters, the kind of traveling around the zoo right now, more especially from Benin to Lagos, has become a death trap to most of our people that are traveling on commuters on a daily basis. So, to buttress it down, the federal government of the zoo, controlled by the Kabas and Abakialis, are not interested on the lives and properties. What they are interested right now is about the cow and the ruga and Fulani settlers or settlements, but the lives and properties are not, doesn't mean anything to anyone. And if I should ask, or if I should trying to find out if these things are happening along the roads where the commuters apply daily, where you have roadblocks on every in every 3 or 4 poles, you have roadblocks that has a kind of surmountable of securities. You have Navy there, you have police, you have mobile police, you have military men, they call them joint force or whatever, and yet all these things are happening. And one has to question himself, who is this Fulani herdsmen, and who are the securities mounting on the roadblocks on every place? And these are the people that mount there to collect life insurance. What do I mean by life insurance? They collect money from the commuters, kind of assuring them that their movement is motorable, that they don't have anything to fear about on their way going. But you find out that after paying for your life insurance to these very gullible idiot and criminals mounting on roadblocks, you will be lynched by these very people. And this people now will run to the bush, and the roadblocks are not in the residential areas. The roadblocks are on that same bush. These roadblocks are on that same bush, and the people that are attacking the commuters are from the bush. Then what stops the security people that carries gun to kind of detain these people, they kind of search them out and bring them to book? My brother, what has to be kind of, there are so many questions that the federal government of the zoo need to give to the masses, because I don't see the reason why you have more than from let me just say from Aba to Lagos, you have no less than 3,000 checking points, a journey of 4 to 5 hours. Then it will take you no less than 10 to 11 hours to get to Lagos, and the roads are not motorable. And these are the federal roads that you have more than 3,000 or 4,000 roadblocks, and yet people are killed, people are molested, people are lynched, people are kidnapped on a daily basis, and you have the securities in that place. Who are these Fulani Herdsmen, and who are those people mounted on that roadblocks on a daily basis? I think if that is not making sense to other people, I think this thing has begun to make sense to me. What are the reasons of them mounting roadblocks, and the Fulanis are coming out from that same bush? They are mounting roadblocks to attack people, to terrorize people. Who are these terrorists, and who are the people wearing this uniform, mounting on the roofs, and they kind of doing nothing than to collect money? They have their guns filled with bullets, and yet on a daily basis you just see them arrest anybody. They rather people will continue to lose their life, and they'll come up what they will not do. They use it to do politics. They come on social media and tell you that it is evil, or instead of facing the real deal. Who are these people? Why is it that the Nigerian security men that are mounting on the road cannot be able to face these people out? And they are there 24/7. They don't go home. They stay there under the sun, under rain, under shine, under rain, and yet people are being killed on daily basis. And some politicians will come up to tell you that it is evil, that there's no Fulanis. My brother, before I stop, I'm saying sorry to the man that lost his life, but the major problem is we have to be very, very careful. Traveling on the road right now is more dangerous than anything else right now. So if people should start doing things, maybe online, or start kind of, I don't know how to put it, but you have to be very conscious of your movement right now, because it is dangerous. Even those of the securities that are on the main road right now have to be scrutinized very well, because you don't know who's you. Many of them don't have their names on their backs, they don't have their numbers, but they have guns, and yet they mount and they secure you, and you pay them for your assurance, and yet they kill you and nobody bothers to look. Then an obstacle and he comes out of the bush, kidnap you and take you inside the same bush. My brother, who is for you? Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Mazi Evisanwudiwe, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, that is a very pertinent question. Every each individual that calls himself a Nigerian should be asking, because when you come, just like you rightly pointed it, Brother Mazi Elvis on the way, that when you come to Biafra land, or the entire Biafra land, not just only from Aba to Lagos, even from Enugu to Iguacha, you get thousands of checking points manned by the Nigerian zoo military and the police, the naval, and the rest of them. And now this man they killed is also part of it. And you can imagine the level of insecurity we have had to go through, or we are being forced to endure, in spite of the heavy security, the heavy checking points that makes our zone looks like a war zone. So it's a very big question people should be asking. When somebody comes out to tell you that he's a Nigerian, or he belongs to this very zoological contraption, you first of all need to ask them that very question. Is your life safe? Once you come out, you don't know if you are likely to go back home alive or dead. Because most of the people traveling on the road, they travel with the hope of arriving their destination safely, but on the way, the Fulani Herdsmen decide otherwise. They decide who lives and who dies. They keep people almost on daily basis on that very road, and yet nothing is being done about it. Tomorrow again you will still hear another one happening in that very place. The police will come as usual and make their public statement, and the same police, they are standing by the roadside with the zoo joint military task force, even the NSCDC. All of them are extorting money making billions every day on that very road, and yet nothing is being done. So these are the things we have to look into and consider carefully. Of course, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and my name is Mazi Victor Onyedo, and of course I have Mazi Oge Friday with me here in the studio, and of course our brother Mazi Elvis is joining us via email, and we are doing a very wonderful job of exposing the lies and deception that we are being forced to live with. Right about now, we are going on a short break, and when we come back from the break, we'll open the phone lines for you to call in to make a contribution. So stay tuned and don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Is the king. Stripone is about to go down. Can nobody take what belongs to us?
DJ Risky, the real best.
People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us anymore, anymore. People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us anymore. Biafra, we are down for you to come alive. Biafra, we are down for you to come alive. People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us anymore, anymore. People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us anymore. People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us. I'm a Biafran, son of King of Kings. Tell me who's not that show saboteurs. Saboteurs every day, hitting us hard. Same old shit, lens. I know them by their names. Don't really give a fuck about what they do on the shit they say. They low money more, so they sold the south. You know, divide the road, don't walk no more. Cause Ipob put us through. No guns, no guns, we don't play no games. Still go fight to the end of this earth. I will never go stop till we get our freedom. On Biafra we stand. To hell with them criminals, Nigeria, Britain, fucking gold diggers, all-time hitters. Get off our land, we don't want you here. And if you catch head feelings, we don't really care. Get them thieves off our land. People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us anymore, anymore. People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us anymore. Biafra, we are down for you to come alive. Biafra, we are down for you to come alive. People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us anymore, anymore. People of the land of the rising sun, can nobody take away what belongs to us anymore. Yeah, it's a brother King Child, man, never gonna talk to me, get our freedom. First and false with indigenous people. Owners of the land, you don't put in here. Biafra first, I'll put it out there. No, you don't come through when I come through. Look around you, who do you see? Children of the most high God in here. BBC, fake news everywhere. Genocidal, subjugate, keep blowing your lies. Relegate Biafrans to the background. Long live the queen, long live in hell. You kill 6 million, you claim it's wrong. Biafra genocide is Biafra Holocaust. Biafra blood rests on your conscience. Lied about the war, you lied about your kills. 18-year-old was all top stolen. Loyalty should have killed also when you had the chance. Now we are here to speak and tell the truth. Desert dwellers, suicidal pressures. Fulani Herdsmen, go back to where you came from. We don't want ya. Biafrans, we here and we still go live in the land of the rising sun. Biafra, professor parasites, leave us the fuck alone. People of the land of the rising sun, can't nobody take away what belongs to us anymore, anymore. People of the land of the rising sun, can't nobody take away what belongs to us anymore. Biafra, we are down for you to come alive. Biafra, we are down for you to come alive. People of the land of the rising sun, can't nobody take away what belongs to us anymore, anymore. People of the land of the rising sun, can't nobody take away what belongs to us anymore. Nigeria, breathe in. Biafra don't owe you nothing. Get off our back.
Lovers of freedom, welcome back. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis and my name is Mazi Victor Onyinda, and of course I have Mazi Ogefride with me here in the studio, and also our brother Mazi Elvis is also with us via emo. Of course we are using this opportunity to also tell you that those challenges that we are having is still getting intense every step of the way. We are soliciting for your support, and in any way you can be a part of this. You can make this program work, so that we'll stop having all this complaining that we keep bringing to you every day. You have to support this program. You can call the WhatsApp line after the program, and make sure you support the program in any way you can in order for us to fix up the technical issues we are having here. +234-566-08583. The phone line is +234-702-035-3706. +234-702-035-3706. You can also call us on Skype at Sunrise BTV or on our Facebook Messenger at Sunrise BTV. Call us now so that we can hear from you and also welcome your opinion. All right, Mazi Ogifrede, while the calls keep going, while the calls keep coming in, you are saying something about the Northern Elders coalition and their disagreement with the Kabas in Aso Rock.
Yes, what I was saying before, that this Northern Elders Forum, there is something that our people need to understand here. These invaders, the Fulani Herdsmen, they came from nowhere, Mali and some other neighboring countries. These were a place that was like given to them as an inheritance. Say, go there, whatever thing that you like to do it. And that is Nigeria. So when they came, they needed people to work with, because there is no way they can possibly do a miracle overnight and get their mandate of taking over what belongs to another man. So they needed to do what? To lure the Northerners, the hardy ones, into their bandwagon. They also needed to do what? To bring in the Yorubas. That is why you see that some towns in Yoruba today were conquered. That is why you see that some towns in the Hausa land today are being ruled by these Fulani men, because they were conquered and they took over. So now that their eyes are beginning to open gradually, so they began to understand that these people, they are not really our brothers. They are Aso Rock, disguised as Buhari, has come out quickly to say no to that. This was not in accordance with our initial plan, because at a point when things begins to work, when two people are working together, at a point one would like, what is happening? Let me rethink and see if this is actually what the people need. And at that point, the other one will begin to say, this is not exactly what we discussed in the beginning. So even if these people, they had this union, they had this agreement together before, but now they are beginning to see that it's no longer the way planned. So they need for them to do what? To take caution and proactive measures to get on moving.
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Friday, for a wonderful contribution. Of course, the first and lovers of freedom, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis. Of course, our lines are open for you to call in to make a contribution. Our WhatsApp line is +234 90 566 Also, the phone line is +234 702 035 3706. Also, you can call us on Skype at Sunrise BTV or Facebook Messenger at Sunrise BTV. Call us now and make your contribution. And also, if you have any question that you would like to ask for you to get some clarification, this is the opportunity. The lines are open for you to call in to make a contribution. All right, we'll have to move over to the next topic we have here while the calls keep coming in. Proscribe Magban, arrest Maetiala leaders now. Ahaneze, Yoruba, Ijo Youth, Tess, Buhari. Now, here's the details. The leadership of 3 indigenous youth group from the major geopolitical zones. Okay, we'll have a call on.
Yeah, hello.
On WhatsApp.
Yeah, my name is Mazi Ogifrede. I'm calling from Cambodia.
You're welcome. Please go ahead.
What I want to talk today is regarding the narrative the bishop is trying to give concerning the Fulani herdsmen picture in the international passport. You know, whenever IPOB bring up a concern for the people to see what is going on in the contraction, what Nigeria normally do is to, try to employ some agents who will come and change the narrative. So what I want the people to understand is that what we are saying here is not that maybe Fulani clan picture is not supposed to be in the international passport. What we are saying is that why would the Fulani people choose to use the picture of people in their midst, tagged terrorists in the whole world, and they put it in an international passport, a document being used by other people in the contraction to travel all around the world, to places where these people have tagged the most devious fourth terrorist or third terrorist group in the world. What are they wishing the people that are using this passport? Can't they surely get this? He just need to sit in his buses and be talking about these things. Can he be able to use like travel to other places in the world? Do you know what other people who travel with this passport pass through in airports? This is one thing he has to understand. I'm not trying to tell us they put the picture of the Benin people. Okay, why didn't they take the picture of the Benin people doing prostitution in Europe and go and put it in the international passport? Don't the Fulanis have 10 years that they can use their picture to represent their culture in the international passport? That they have to use the already tagged terrorist organization, the picture of already tagged terrorist organization to represent their identity. Then making every member of that contraction a terrorist. Don't they know that is what that thing is saying? Why are they always supporting evil, trying to bring ideologies or intelligence to counter what it is clear and open? So this is my vision this morning. People should discuss such idea and keep pressuring that Jubril and his cohorts in that contraction to that particular thing that they did in that passport. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, brother, for that wonderful observation. Of course, they are doing all of that in order to tell the rest of the world that Fulani Boko Haram terrorists are well accepted organization. And for Bishop Matthew Cuka to come and openly defend it is very, very shameful to him and what he represents. Because when you see evil, you don't call it evil. It means you are part of the evil. So it is very, very quite unfortunate. All right, Master Friday, what would you make from the last caller's point?
It's very, very important, what he said, because...
All right, I'll come back to you shortly. We'll have a call on the phone. Call on the phone, good morning. We seem to have lost the call. Please do try and call us back. We have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp, good morning. All right, do try and call us back. We have a call on the phone. Call on the phone. Please make sure you tune down the volume of your listening device. Tune it way down because we are hearing a whole lot of howlback. We keep saying it over and over again. Please tune down the volume of your listening device, then we can have effective communication. We have a call on the phone. Call on the phone, good morning. Hello, call on the phone, good morning. Are you there? Please tune down the volume of your listening device so that we can have effective communication. We have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome to the program. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning. I'm calling from Istanbul, Turkey. First of all, I thank you all for your program. I say, may Cuka bless you all.
And bless you too.
Yeah. Am I clear?
We can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Hello?
We can hear you. Okay, we'll have a call on the phone. Please do try and call us back.
Okay.
Hello, call on the phone. Good morning. Please make sure once you call us, you tune down the volume of your listening device or completely turn it off. So that you turn it way down or you turn it off completely so that we can...
Good morning.
Good morning. Call on the phone. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Oh, we seem to have lost him. Please do try and call us back. The line seems to be acting up. We have caller on WhatsApp. Caller on
called Nigeria. Don't attraction called Zoo Nigeria, because that country will never be in peace. Because what the Boko Haram needed is for them to is the Islamic law. I think that the flag state is to impose the law of Islamic law, and that Islamic law is what the government of Nigeria needs to impose in their people called the Zoo called Nigeria. That Islamic law. So you can see the Fulani Herdsmen and the Boko Haram and the government of Nigeria is working together. So they don't follow human life. What they need is to kill and impose their own law. So I don't see the reason why they're fighting the terrorists, or the government is the terrorists fighting with terrorists. Well, the Boko Haram is also a terrorist. The Fulani Herdsmen is also a terrorist. The government of Nigeria is also a terrorist. So why are they fighting people killing and they say they're fighting terrorists? Which are the terrorists are they fighting? Since what Boko Haram needs is to invoke their own law, Islamic law is what they need, and what the state the Fulani Herdsmen need. And that state is what the bill of Amir of Sudan of Buhari needed to impose Fulani from other countries to come and impose their own law into Nigeria, and fighting people that doesn't need their law. So I don't think that they are selling security here, security there. Those security need, they need their own security to impose their own law they need. So let them leave Biafra to go. We don't need that their law. This is my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, we appreciate you for that wonderful contribution. Nigeria is an Islamic country. We have a caller on the phone. Caller on the phone, good morning. Caller on the phone, are you there? Please do tune down the volume of your listening device. Tune it way down so that we can have effective communication. All right, keep the calls coming in. We have another caller on the phone. Caller on the phone, good morning. Hello, caller on the phone, are you there? Please keep trying. The lines seem to be acting up. This is why we keep soliciting for your support so that we can upgrade the system and make sure we get a very good app that will bounce back, because all those things are attacked from the zoo, and we've been saying it here and over again. We need your support in any way you can so that we can upgrade our system so that it cannot be easily attacked by the zoo to disrupt what we are doing here, because you guys are bringing a lot of nice points, but the zoo don't want you to say the truth. That is why you have to support what we are doing in any way you can in order for us to upgrade the system and make sure we serve you better. Keep the calls coming in. This is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and of course my name is Mazi Victor Onyedo, and I have Mazi Oge Friday with me here in the studio. And of course Mazi every Sunday is also with us on the email, doing a very wonderful job of analyzing and dissecting the topical issues we have here. Of course the WhatsApp line is +234 90566 08583. I'll call it once again, +234 90566 08583. The phone line is +234 702 035 3706, +234 702 035 3706. Also, you can call us on Skype at Sunrise BTV or our Facebook Messenger at Sunrise BTV. Call us now and make your contribution so that we'll also get your own points of view. Of course, we've had so many headlines we've treated so far. Number one headline is Bishop Matthew Cuka. He blows hot over the demonization of the Fulani Herdsmen. And my question is, the question I'm asking now is anybody demonizing the Fulani Herdsmen? You know, there is a difference between demonizing people and when you are saying the truth. They are killer herdsmen, and the world itself recognize them as the fourth most deadliest terrorist organization. Now, Mazoge Friday, I mean, from this very statement, he said that people are demonizing the Fulani Herdsmen. Please, is there any way you can explain what he meant by demonizing? Is anybody really demonizing the Fulani Herdsmen?
You know,
in this
that
very
is
context?
exactly what we're saying, that when people say the truth, you...
All right, I'll come back to you shortly. We have a call on the phone. Call on the phone, good morning.
Good morning.
Turn down the volume of your listening.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, call on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning,
Good day. Please tune down the volume of your listening device.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, we can hear you. But what matter, Igwe? Good morning. Tune down the volume of your listening device. I can hear myself. Alright, please make sure once you call this line, you tune down the volume of your listening device. Hello, we can hear you. Good morning. Tell us where you're calling from. We have entered the hello business again. Please do try and call us back so that we can have effective communication. We have a call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp. Good morning. Hello, caller on WhatsApp. Good morning.
Morning to
Thank you. My name is Friday, calling from Biafra State.
All right, Master Friday. How is Nasarawa this morning?
Let's go to the Adama. Bless you.
I'm blessed.
Bless our leader. Bless our Biafra.
You see?
Man. I don't believe just man. I don't believe. Because now then our leader is talking. Every minute. Because this is the same agenda. Many people from Nigeria. I want to tell our people, this of this local elder to tell Herdsmen to come back. No, they don't reason. Because the agenda, the plan, they don't reason. Say this agenda now. That can backfire. That made they call the yesterday, they make all of us stay back. Our leader, our everybody, make all come together. So all of us will make it, all of us will be so forget about the show of the other guy. When he to the south 4 years. Now, this is 4 years where the plan. Because we watch what is happening to the country. Our leader is too 18 minutes. No, it's starting now. That's their plan. No more. So now all of us will go to know how to work because they don't plan everything. Forget about just plan they kidnap. They know even though there's one move that they can pull from the office, kidnap the boss, kill you. So my brother, I want to tell you, may God bless you, bless our leader, bless our brothers,
All right, thank you very much, Mazi Friday from Nasarawa State. Of course, we appreciate your contribution. Just that your line was very poor. Of course, we are in the zoo, and that is what we keep experiencing in the zoo. Poor network, poor everything. Everything about Nigeria is poor. Nigeria is the most poorest country in the world, and everything in it is poor. People even reason poor. Even their brain is poor.
You can see they are going down, and what they are doing is entertain. All we have to do, if you are listening this morning, we are living in town, make sure you have an IPOB zone in your village. To create an IPOB zone or IPOB branch, it's very easy. Once you get the IPOB zone in your village or town, that means you can be able to send them a message and they will do something. And I want to tell our people in any other place which is not getting a radio, Biafra or television, it is our duty right now to write our community letter. Our community living outside our place, we are not getting radio, or even the place we are getting the radio. We have to put a letter to them. We have to make them understand we need of radio Biafra. They will have to install the transmitter. Even if they are in the Biafra London, too, many cities, we use our hand to put the transformer for the light. It is also how we are going to do to get on a transmit, once you put on a letter to your community, it is also an evangelism. There will know IPOB existing. Let us write our people living in diaspora, people living in living at everywhere, all our community, right? Then we need a later. Not only this TV and the radio, all the programs, they'll see the zoo, the media has been bought, even BBC, Al Jazeera, they have been bought. Only your own will tell you what you hear. Your people have to defend you through their media. Let us support this IPOB and television. Let us support it now. It is our duty to support. As our people say, keep on saying support. Let us do something through our donors meetings, let this television to grow higher immediately. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our brother, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, that is what we have been crying for, and we appreciate you for that very wonderful contribution. We are begging and pleading for Biafrans and all of us of freedom all over the world and in everywhere they find themselves to support this very program and also make sure that the station does not go down, because we are fighting left, right, and center. We have the zoo people to fight in one hand. We have other issues to fight on the other hand, and of course, our equipments are also outdated, you know, and we need to change it and upgrade it to a new one so that we can be able to stand in the battlefront and continue fighting the zoo. So that is why we are begging and soliciting for your support to make sure that this program continues to grow from strength to strength, because we are here to expose the lies of the zoo. We are here to debunk their lies, because every day they keep feeding people with junks, they keep feeding people with nonsense, they keep feeding people with lies and deception, and that is why we are here. Just like the first headline that we have here, Bishop Matthew Cuka, a well-known figure in the north, in Sokoto, blows hot over the demonization of the Fulani herdsmen. So I just want to understand who is really demonizing who, because Fulani herdsmen have been terrorizing and killing a lot of our people, demonizing people and destroying our land, raping our women, and now a man of God is coming out to say that people are demonizing him. All right, Mazi Evi, please, I want you to just clarify this very issue, because I can't seem to get it. A lot of our people are worried. How is it that people are demonizing, or how is our people demonizing Fulani herdsmen? Please, can you, educate us on what he really meant by this word demonizing? Who is demonizing Fulani herdsmen?
What I have to say towards that is that English words are best known to be used when someone wants to lie and confuse the gullible. You should ask him to translate that very word, demoralizing, into his own local language, and people will throw stone on him. People will throw stone on him, and the members of the people that are attending his church should be very, very careful, because that kind of people, that kind of man, always lead people astray, and for the abundance of doubt, he has compromised and is not qualified to be.
Please hold on.
Good morning.
Call on the phone. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome to the program. Please tell us your name.
Am I coming out clear?
We can hear you loud and clear. Please tell us your name.
My name is Tony Obona JP.
All right, Mazi Tony, please go ahead.
I want to compare the issue at hand, that is concerning the bishop Cuka. One thing I observe is that some of these people called bishops, who I might use that word, the Anka word, they can't stand for the people. The very point I make out of that, what he said, is that he is afraid of his life. That is point number one, because he knows that when he says anything against the flock, that they will attack him. Also, another one is that he is also protecting the source where he feeds from, because he knows that when Fulani people search, the people will not come there to give their offering for him to enrich himself. So So as a bishop, as he cannot defend the people that is under, and for him to use Biafra genocide to compare with Fulani this time is, I see it as is ignorant of what happened during 1960, 67 to this thing. Because it was never a time we attacked the Northerners. It was never a time we killed any Fulani or their women. Rather, they are the one killing us. And there was never a time we raised any hand against them. We requested for our freedom, and they start killing us. So I see him as that bishop as a coward. Thank you, and God bless you. Keep on your good work.
And bless you too. Thank you very much, my brother, for your wonderful contribution. Of course, we have another caller on the phone. Caller on the phone, good morning. Hello, caller on the phone. Tune down the volume of your listening device.
Hello?
Good morning and welcome to the program.
Hello, good morning.
Tune down the volume of your listening device.
Maggie, good morning. This is Zekuma. This is Zekuma from my friend of one Caesar.
Alright, please go ahead.
I'm coming out to me, Maggie.
Tune down the volume of your listening device. We can hear you.
Hey, Maggie, if I'm coming out to me, my greeting to all of you in the studio there. All I want to say is, Biafra must be restored.
You see?
Like smoke coming out, let all of you in the studio there. And no matter come up from my friend of one Caesar.
Thank you very much, brother. We appreciate your contribution. Of course, make sure once you call this line, you tune down the volume of your listening device so that there won't be a holdback from your own end. We have a call on the phone. Call on the phone. Good morning. Hello, call on the phone. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. You are welcome to the program. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Can you hear me, Victor?
I can hear you, Mazi. Please tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Yes. Victor. My name is Okechukwu.
All right, Mazi.
I'm calling from Italy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Please go ahead, Mazi Okechukwu.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Okechukwu. I'm calling from Italy. My contribution this morning is concerning the so-called Sokoto. You see, those men is evil men. Hello?
Go ahead, Mazi.
Hello?
Stop listening to yourself. You are saying something and you are also listening to yourself. Hello? Call on the phone. Call on the phone. Good morning. Hello, call on the phone. Are you there? Good morning and welcome to the program. Please make sure once you call this line, you tune down the volume of your listening device. Tune it way down or turn it completely off and stop listening to yourself. You can listen with the phone you are calling with. And we can. Oh, there seems to be a network difficulty there. Hello, what's up? Are you still there?
I'm calling from Lemitogo. I have a condition this morning concerning what the man called themselves and Bishop Cuka. That is why sometimes when we begin to speak against the people that call themselves a man of God, some people will be talking rubbish.
The only advice I want to give to the people called Nigeria, they should not listen to those stupid bishop and the rest of them. How can somebody call himself a man of God? He cannot defend his people. He cannot defend his people because he's afraid to defend his people. Do you see how these people are deceiving people? What I want to tell my people in that zoo called Nigeria, that everybody should not listen to those people call themselves a man of God or bishop or overseer or that whatever. If you are following those people, you will go to hell immediately, direct, without stopping on the way. You will enter to hellfire immediately. Everything that you want to do this time around, everybody should keep his religion aside and keep the pastor and the bishop, put them into a cupboard and lock them up. If not, the Fulani will wipe you all out. Because these people that call themselves a Muslim, do you know that these people call themselves a Fulani? They are coming in the name of Muslim, and the real Muslim in Nigeria supporting them. Don't you know that these people?
All right, brother.
So the people in that Nigeria calling themselves a Muslim, doesn't know that these people called Fulani coming in the name of Muslim. They are coming in the name of Muslim. You see, they are deceiving others and conquering the rest of Nigeria in that place. So thank you. That is what I have to say this morning. God bless you all.
All right, thank you. That is much we can take for today. Of course, this is Sunday Daily News Analysis. This is where we call it a short for today. Of course, before we go, Mazi Elvis Onwudiwe, please can you give your final words of advice to Biafrans that are watching and listening to you all over the world? Hello, Mazi Elvis.
My final words today is I'm talking to you.
Okay, please go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, my parting shot for today is very simple. And the only thing, we all have had it. We all have seen it. And we all have tested it. The next question is, what can you do to avert the upcoming revolution? So if you can be able to give that very answer to yourself, you will live safe and stay safe. If not, continue to gallivant from one church to the other and ask yourself, how many prayers have been answered and how much have you been able to spend? And who they of them that you are looking up to as man of God, they've had what they said right now, and you continue to call them daddy and mommy. Bow down and lick their shoes. Continue. Very soon we will know who is who. Thank you very much. I am signing off from here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mazi Elvis, for that wonderful submission. Of course, Mazi Friday, can you just in 1 minute give your final words of advice to Biafrans?
Yes, our brethren out there, I want you to understand that this is a game of football. It is not over until it is over. And we have a serious matter that demands serious attention. If we play over it, definitely the end of it or the result will not be okay at all. And that is why you must be very serious with whatever thing that is happening and put in practice all that you are hearing here. There is a first step that you need to take, and that step is to first of all identify yourself with the family of IPOB nearest to you. If there is none where you are, do well to start up one. Call the next family to come and do what? Inaugurate you and do the necessary thing there. Because these are the only people that have the solution to our problem. We have seen it from all indication that all these people going around talking on the air or perhaps making publications on the newspapers, they do not have what it takes to solve your problem. All these men are looking for what enters into their pocket. So brethren, stand up and defend your land, because the invaders, they want to take over. So it will be shameful that you fold your hands and allow this to happen. Thank you very much. I'm Ejikwa Biama. Bless all of you.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Mazi Oge Friday, for that wonderful contribution. Of course, Biafra and all of us of freedom, this is Sunrise Daily News Analysis, and we are using this opportunity to solicit for your help and support for us to keep this program running. Don't allow this station to go down. Don't allow the zoo to shut this program down. We are pleading with you to do the best you can to support us in any way you can, financially and otherwise, in order to change some of the equipment and upgrade our system in order to serve you better. From me, from here, my name is Sidimen Mazi Oindo Victor. I'm signing out until I be with you, same station, same time. Bye for now.